On the night of October 7th, 1998, Matthew Shepard was taken into a cornfield and was beaten to death. And 5 days later, he died in the hospital due to his injuries. This was a murder and a crime, which was later on deemed a hate crime by President Obama. And it was all due because he was gay. I fear that he stumbled upon something that was more than just a hate crime, though, but discrimination. And today we'll be discussing how discrimination affects our minds, our home life, and our social lives. Let me begin with the definition of discrimination. It is an unjust treatment of people of different races, ages, and sexes. Discrimination affects the mind and creates fear within the individual. Within the LGBT community, which LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, there are several other terms, but those are the most broad. But within that community, there are people who are traumatically affected by what and who they think they are. For example, on a personal level, when I came out, I knew there would be trouble. When I first came out, it was on my brother's birthday, and I really couldn't get it out of my head because I thought I was disgusting, horrible. It was just a vulgar thing to me to think that I was gay. And that is fear. Fear, and we all have it. Fear. We are all scared of something, just like Matthew Shepard was. And I had that exact fear of being beaten or killed like he was. Gay teens nowadays are 8.4 more times likely to have attempted suicide, or they are 5.9% more likely to be terrified of their family because they're unaccepting versus families that are accepting. Now, that creates a structure in the home, and the home life discrimination is another important topic for an LGBT person. Discrimination causes disorder, confusion, and ignorance within the family. An example of this is Daniel Ashley Pierce, which was very recent. It was about 2 years ago in 2014. And I will give a quote from his mother that she said that she did not believe in it and that he made a choice and that God did not create people that way. The only problem with that is a belief. And that is a fear as well. Beliefs create fears, and sometimes not knowing something is what creates that fear. LGBT people fear that most in the home because they are afraid that if they come out, they will be kicked out, just like Daniel Ashley Pierce was. He was kicked out because of who he was, and his family did not accept him. I would like to show the video, but at the end of it, it becomes extremely violent and horrid. They close in on him and start attacking him. These beliefs are not something innate, but rather something that is taught by our society. And let me say it this way. United States ideologies are formed from common knowledge and or cultural beliefs that are enforced by social norms. One of these social norms, since there are very many, is that people are not born gay. Southern Poverty Law Center states that modern science has done many studies that state that it is not just a biological or an environmental influence, and it's not by personal choice. Another person to support this is Dr. Kwasi Raman, a scientist on human sexual orientation, and that he stated that there is not a single gay gene or a single environmental influence. Now, going back to Matthew Shepard and his case, I believe he is a prime example of that exact discrimination. People believe that just because you're gay, that you chose to do it. So in that fear, the people that did kill him decided they were going to take it upon themselves to make a choice for him, just as they thought he did. So they tied him up and they killed him. We are all people and we should be treated as such. Discrimination can occur because of our own generalized ideas, which create a false image of ourselves. I knew I was hurting myself, which is where the counseling came in, and I began to finally accept who I was. It can also come from a home life, which we saw in Daniel Ashley Pierce's case, and his family's rejection due to their own religious beliefs. Lastly, we see discrimination in our social lives through the crime of Matthew Shepard and how we are influenced by our genes and our environment. Fear takes us to a place we do not want to be, nor should we be, because being informed is not a bad thing. It is actually something extremely helpful when we don't know something. I like to say fear is created by intolerance and lack of knowledge. So if the adults who had killed Matthew had been informed, maybe his story would be told by him instead of me. And instead, that way our discrimination does not torment our minds, degrades us within our family, and pressures us to believe what our society thinks should be done. Thank you.